We're going to talk about 5 things that I've learned over the past year. So we're going to look backwards into 2021 to really be reflective and gather some insight on how we're going to move forward with 2022. Sit back, enjoy the conversation. Always, if you like our content, make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video. And if you enjoy what we're doing overall with our channel, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. It does help us out. I'm not real sure how it does at this point. I'm learning. So hopefully you subscribe and you get some information out of this video. The 5 things that I'm going to discuss today are not necessarily in order, but there are 5 things that I've learned. So the first one is, don't sweat the small stuff. Guys, I know it's hard not to do this. We all are, I guess, capable of doing this. Some of us do it really well. Some of us don't ever do it. And some of us are really good at hiding it. You know, for me, I think it depends on the situation, if I'm really good about hiding it, or if I just, I'm not sweating the small things. Something that I've learned over the last year is you got to be adaptable. If you're adaptable and you're flexible, you won't really sweat the small things because they're just things that are occurring. It's not like it's the only thing that you have to do, or it's the only way to do something. You know, in a professional setting, I work at a school, and there are so many different ways to get to the same end. It's just a matter of which way is best for that situation. And I tell you right now, I don't always have the answers. Most of the time I don't, but I do surround myself with a lot of great people that can help come up with a great plan, a collaborative method. So don't be afraid to be adaptable. Look for other ways to do something. Look for other people to gain insight. All right, number 2 for me was don't wait. Whenever I say don't wait, this doesn't mean to don't wait for other people, don't wait to make a decision. This means don't wait to be engaged for me. So I wanted to start my health journey back in 2020, I believe. Whenever I did this, I was very hesitant and I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to do it to support my wife. And I got on this journey and I lost 105 pounds. And so that's the outcome of what I did. But I remember I can't tell you how long, but it wasn't but a few months in. And I really realized that the best thing I did was not wait to start that journey. So I took that information that I learned during that time I started this health journey for myself, and I applied it to other things going forward. And so I had several different things that I wanted to do in 2020, and the first thing was I wanted to get in the gym. I wanted to become committed to going to the gym. And so I decided to just jump in, and my son and I decided to put together a home gym. We've outfitted it over time. But I didn't have everything at first, and I was kind of nervous about how am I going to do this. So I just said, you know what, if I don't have the equipment to do what I need to do, I'll do something different. I'll do something that's an alternative movement to that movement. And so I was committed to that, and I decided that I wasn't going to wait for having all the equipment, all the right stuff in my home gym to be able to do those things. I just went ahead and jumped in. So the next item that we're going to talk about on this list is don't be afraid. Whenever I say don't be afraid, is that whenever you start something new, it's exciting, but there's this level of fear that is associated with it also. Don't let that fear hold you back from starting something new. I want you to think about how fear will drive your decision-making process versus enthusiasm, letting it drive your decision-making process. Fear can be a very powerful thing, and it really can creep into your brain, and it'll grab hold of you. I'm going to go back to my example that I have with my health. I was unhealthy for, let's say, 17 years prior to getting healthy. And I'll tell you, the one thing that really drove me staying unhealthy was fear. And the reason I was afraid of getting healthy wasn't because of the outcome, it was because I was afraid I couldn't stay committed. And so therefore, that really drove my thinking is the fear of being a failure. You're gonna fail. There is nothing that you can do to change that. But you're gonna fail on one little thing of what you're trying to accomplish. Jump back up, try it again the next time, and then move on. Don't let that failure that happened right then and there drive your decision making for the whole thing. And that's what I was doing. That's what I did in my life, and that is not how you should live. Failure is okay. You just can't let it be the thing that drives your decision-making process. That leads us into number 4, is being committed. Being committed to something really can be difficult. I think a lot of times we're not committed to the right thing. Whenever I was trying to get healthy, I was committed to the next 2.5 hours whenever I was going to get my fueling or my food or my bar, or however you want to look at it, without eating something unhealthy. I was committed to that. It was a short-term little goal that I had for myself that could have a larger impact over time. Whenever we say committed, a lot of times we're committed to the outcome, and that outcome is something that we have not a whole lot of control of right now, because of the fact that we got to do all these little things before we actually get to the outcome. Will we get to the outcome? Yes, but we got to do all the little things in between. So you got to be committed to the little things that are right in front of you to be able to come to the outcome. When we talk about commitment, I alluded to it earlier, is that you got to be committed to the process. So whenever I talk about that, I read this book and it's really grabbed hold of me on the inside, and I really enjoyed it, and I really try to implement these things. It's called Atomic Habits. And whenever I read it, it really made me understand that outcome versus processes. I really encourage you to get out there and read that book if you have a chance. Also understand that processes are almost, I would say, more important than the actual goal. You got to have a goal to be able to understand what processes you need to put in place. Then you got to be committed to your processes. This brings us to our last item that I learned during 2021. I know I say it's the last thing, but in all honesty, and I say it was in 2021, guys, I've learned this over time, and every year I think I learned something different about it and how I can incorporate it into my life to help me be a more positive person. Oh, I just let it out. So yes, number 5 is stay positive. Guys, I can't tell you how much it is important for us as just people to be positive in our life. I look at it in several different ways. Whenever you go to work, it's not always glamour and glory and all these other things. Whatever you're doing, you're making an impact for someone's life. So therefore, and that's pretty awesome that you get to do that. You can do it in a positive way, or you can do it in a negative way. I read a book. We're back to the book thing. I apologize, guys, up front. I really enjoy reading books. And so I read this book called The Energy Bus, and it's by John Gordon. So if you ever get a chance, make sure you read it. There's some rules of this book because it talks about a bus, and really it's literally the whole story is incorporated about a group of people that are on this bus going to work. Let me just break it down to you in a real short little synopsis of what this book is about. This book talks about 10 rules that are established on the bus. And the first rule that they talk about on this bus is that you're the driver of your own bus. And I tell you, this couldn't be more true for me, is that I get to choose to be the driver. I am the driver, and therefore I get to choose who I let on and off my bus. Now, this next rule that we're going to talk about is number 6 on the bus. I know we missed several rules, but that's okay. You go back and read them, and you can tell me about what you think about rules number 2, 3, 4, and 5. But number 6 is about there are no energy vampires on the bus. Now, whenever he talks about energy vampires, these are naysayers. These are people in your life that are not a positive influence. These are people that try to convince you that you're not good enough, you don't deserve this. Whatever the case may be, they're not positive people in your life. All right, now, I know we skipped some more numbers, but we're going to look at number 9, and this is drive with a purpose. Once again, it goes back to some of the other things that we just discussed, and whenever you drive with a purpose, you know where you're going. You know where you want to go, And so therefore, you're going to put things in place in your life to help you, assure you that you get there. Not only things in place, but people in place. Because guys, you're going to need help from other people to get where you're going and where you want to go. We all are intelligent beings, but there are other people that have great ideas, like I said before. We're at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a little bit of fun watching it. Different things you might like to talk about in the future, because I really have enjoyed doing this, sharing our journey, sharing Renee's and my journey through this whole process. Remember, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to hit the like button on your way out.